Good evening and Happy New Year. I'd like to call to order the January 7th, 2025 Little Rock City Board of Directors meeting. We would like to welcome those in attendance as well as those watching at home or streaming online. Madam Clerk, if you would, please call the roll.
Director Miller, Director Richardson, Director Peck, Director Hines, Director Lewis, Director Wyrick, Director Campuris, Director Phillips,
Present.
Director Adcock, Vice Mayor Webb, Mayor Scott.
Present. Now let me recognize City Director Virgil Miller, who will give our invocation.
Thank you, Mayor. Please join me in a moment of silence as we prepare our hearts and minds for this evening's invocation. As we gather here for our first board meeting of 2025, I want to first thank our city employees for the many accomplishments of 2024. It is my hope and desire that we as a city never take them for granted. Our employees that serve and protect, put their lives on the line, respond to tragedies, keep our city clean, pick up trash, keep the lights on, cut the grass, protect the unsheltered, keep the fleet moving, watch over our finances, and so much more. I'm talking about the approximately 2,500 employees in our city attorney's office, our community programs, district courts, 911, finances, fire department, fleet services, housing and neighborhood programs, human resources, information technology, parks and rec, planning and development, public works, our police department, and our zoo. To our residents that get involved and volunteer their time and service to our various boards and commissions, that have formed neighborhood associations, watch groups, created community gardens, pick up trash and litter, that come to our board meetings and participate in citizen communications. Your observations, statements, recommendations, and yes, your criticisms show how much you love our city. All of us together make our city a better place. We all love our city. We all want our city to be great. We all want our city to continue to grow and prosper. We must all keep our eyes on the prize. We all might not agree on how to accomplish these things, but I, for one, have never doubted that we all love our city. So with all that said, I want to invoke a spirit of togetherness, unity, and love for our meeting this evening and for all of 2025. And finally, Ward 2 City Director Ken Richardson, we're all praying for you, buddy. We look forward to seeing you here with us in 2025. Amen.
Amen. May we please stand for a pledge of allegiance.
To the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Madam Clerk, if you would, please read the consent agenda. Oh, hold on one second. Director Hines?
Thank you, Mayor. It came to my attention when I looked at the agenda on resolution number 5. I serve on the national board of DePaul USA. It is a volunteer unpaid position. I have no financial stake in the company. And under discussion with our city attorney, Tom Carpenter, he just told me I needed to disclose that, but it did not preclude me from voting on the resolution.
Yes, sir. Thank you for that. Madam Clerk?
And Mayor, before we begin, I just want it noted that all 4 oaths of office have been filed in the city clerk's office.
Thank you for that notation. Let's give them a round of applause for those 4 officers. Madam Clerk?
A resolution authorizes the city manager to enter into a contract with Gene Summers Construction Incorporated in an amount not to exceed $274,448.40 for the West 13th Street Reconstruction Improvement Project and for other purposes, funding from the limited tax obligation capital improvement bonds. A resolution to amend Little Rock, Arkansas Resolution Number 16,359, July 2nd, 2024, to authorize the city manager to increase the original contract amount of $2,458,674.60 with Redstone Construction Group Incorporated in an amount not to exceed $13,000 for the Swaggerty Branch Drainage Rehabilitation Project and for other purposes, funding from the 3/8 cent capital improvement sales tax. A resolution to authorize the city manager to enter into a contract with Positive Results Lawn Services Incorporated in an amount not to exceed $189,525.60 for the L Street Drainage Improvement Project and for other purposes, funding from the limited tax general obligation capital improvement bonds. A resolution to authorize the city manager to enter into a contract with Nixon Power Services in an amount not to exceed $60,492.53 for the purchase of a generator for the Little Rock Fire Department and for other purposes. A resolution to authorize the city manager to enter into a contract with DePaul USA Incorporated in an amount not to exceed $391,640 for the Jericho Way Homeless Day Resource Center and for other purposes. That concludes the consent agenda.
Seat number 3. Someone had their hand up? I think so. It didn't show. Thank you. It was a tech issue. All those in favor, please say aye. All those opposed, say nay. Ayes have it. We'll now go with Ms. Amy Pritchard for Citizens Communication.
Good evening, Mayor Scott, Vice Mayor Webb, and the board. Tonight, I stand before you to address a fundamental question. Are we committed to upholding the independence of our citizens' boards, or will we allow interference to erode the trust that they were created to build? The Citizens Review Board is not only essential to transparency and accountability in this city, It is a reflection of Little Rock's commitment to working with its residents, not against them. This board was established in the wake of Bradley Blackshire's tragic death. His life was cut short after the use of surveillance technology, a license plate reader, led to the events that claimed him. His death ignited a demand for accountability and transparency, giving birth to the CRB. We owe it to his memory and to his family to ensure that the board he inspired remains a true advocate for justice. The CRB's rules and jurisdiction are clear. As established in the ordinance, the CRB is tasked with reviewing police practices and policies to ensure accountability and public trust. This includes not just reviewing individual cases of force, corruption, or discrimination, but also providing a platform for broader oversight of law enforcement policies and procedures. To argue otherwise is to ignore the CRB's foundational purpose. Contrary to the city attorney's email, the CRB is not runaway for reviewing matters like the real-time crime center policies when a citizen's complaint is received and referred by the mayor. In fact, failing to review these policies and procedures weakens the CRB's mission and reduces it to simply duplicating the work of other entities. This interpretation not only undermines the CRB's independence, but insults the citizens who fought to create it. The city attorney's email is more than dismissive. It is a threat to the very existence of the CRB. When he suggested the board risk dissolution by acting within its clear jurisdiction, it sends a chilling message that citizen oversight will not be tolerated if it challenges the city's preferred narrative. This is not democracy. This is control. The city must work with its citizens, not against them. The CRB was created to rebuild trust after years of public outcry. Its independence is not optional, it is essential. The people of Little Rock deserve a board that represents them, free from intimidation or interference. If it cannot protect that independence, then what hope is there for genuine accountability? As we reflect on the life of Bradley Blackshire and the reason the CRB was created, let us recommit to the principles of transparency, accountability, and collaboration. Let the CRB do its job without interference. Let us show the people of Little Rock that their voices matter. Together, we can bring light into these processes and restore trust in the systems meant to serve us all. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Pritchard. Ms. Norma Huffman.
Hopefully everybody had a wonderful New Year's. I know I did. So today, I'm going to address one of the complexes that I've already addressed you guys about. There are new updates, and you're getting because I have 3 tenants that have talked to me. There are a couple of pictures on that, but I'm gonna go ahead and get started. So tenant 1, the whole building has a huge bug infestation. I put chemicals down to get rid of them in my apartment. If the maintenance comes in and sees it, I get told I have to clean it up. Then they will go and report me to the manager. The manager will get onto us for trying to exterminate the bugs. Between the manager and maintenance only, specific things get fixed. And again, if the renters try to fix their apartments, they get in trouble. Due to the powers that be, we cannot do anything to improve the building so we can live without having to deal with constant maintenance issues and bugs. The pictures that you see are of 2 different rooms in the building. One is the mail room on the bottom floor. The other one is the laundry room on the 14th floor. That is the top floor. As you can tell, all of the damage that is there is all because of a water leak in the roof. Every time it rains, every time it snows, this is what they get. Tenant 2. Every time I clean my shower of mold, within 3 days it's back. I am a new mother. The mold is so bad that unfortunately we cannot stay in my apartment. We have to go to friends' houses due to the amount of mold and the fact that no matter how hard I work along with a friend of mine to clean it up. We can't stay in the apartment. I have repeatedly asked for it to be fixed, and no one can be bothered. There are so many problems in this building, but the powers that be are refusing to do anything about it. But if we do it, we get the line, "You cannot do that, we will," but nothing happens. Tenant 3, I have put in many requests for maintenance to come fix things in my apartment. Sometimes they come, but most of the time they don't. I have the kitchen light fixture dangling just by a wire.
Ms. Norma, we do have what you have in paper. The time is out, but we're grateful that you gave us this for the files.
Yes, and just one thing, they are definitely afraid to open up their mouth.
Thank you so much, Ms. Norma. Director Phillips?
Thank you, Mayor. I got a few points. Number one, Director Howard, is this on the list, the Paris Tower? Can you speak to it?
Yes, sir. Paris Towers is owned and ran by MHA, which they have someone else that's managing that property. So it's a public housing property. So we don't have any control as far as what goes on. They have their own management and security at that property.
That was my understanding. I just wanted to be clear on that.
Director Phillips, we not only don't have any authority, we don't have any jurisdiction, and if we try to assert it, the Eighth Circuit has ruled that we would not be able to do so.
Okay, thank you. I just wanted to be clear on that, on what we can and cannot do there. Secondly, Mayor, if we could have Director Honeywell, I've received calls and emails about this snow apocalypse that's supposed to happen this week. So if you can tell us what the city has in store to prepare for it.
Y'all are fucking retarded.
Hold on, Director Honeywell. Ms. Pritchard, if I was going to ask the city attorney a question about your statement, so if you could stay. Thank you.
Snow. Thursday and Friday is what they're predicting. Potentially 6 inches of snow is what the latest reports are. This public works staff are prepared for this. We have 12 snowplow spreader trucks that are already set up and ready to go. We have 5 additional smaller trucks that have plows and spreaders that will be available. So that's 17 total trucks. We also have road graders, front end loaders, and some other larger equipment that we utilize. Our crews have been split into day and nighttime shifts. There's approximately 60 employees on the daytime shift and 50 employees on the nighttime shift. Those are already established. Their duties are set up, so they know exactly what they're going to be doing when they're responsible to report to work. We'll probably speak in the morning with staff to determine exactly when we're going to start those 12-hour shifts, and each of those day and night shifts work 12 hours continuously on. Then the next crew comes in 12 hours until we get the roads clear. So we'll probably start implementing that on Thursday morning with day and night shifts, with an anticipation of the snow starting sometime on Thursday afternoon, is what they're saying right now. So all of our sand and salt mixtures are fully stockpiled at our 3 locations across the city. So I think we're ready and prepared for this, and hopefully it won't snow as much as they're saying.
Yeah, and you said, I want to be able to report to we have 17 trucks that are.
Yes, 12 large, like a large dump truck, snowplow pieces of equipment. We have 12 of those, and then we have 5 of the smaller, like 1-ton size pickup truck type vehicles that have plows and spreaders that are attached to them as well.
Okay, perfect. As you can imagine, people are asking, so I'm glad to know that you got the team ready to go.
And we have 9 established snow routes. That's what we start on first. We clear those first, And once those are cleared, then we start moving off those routes into the adjoining streets. So we get the main ones cleared first, so you can get across the city, and then we start working our way into
So your
the other
neighborhood
areas.
street will not be first, is what you're
It's
saying?
not going to be first. And those snowplow routes are available on the city's website. On the Public Works page, you'll be able to go in there and actually pull up maps that show you what those routes actually are.
Okay. Thank you, Director Honeywell.
You're welcome. Thank you.
And Mayor, my last point, I know Ms. Pritchard made some comments about CRB. I know there was some correspondence with the city attorney, so if you can give us your context in light of what she said so we can know and the public can know what's going on.
The CRB has a limited jurisdiction that deals with excessive force cases or police corruption cases. In terms of excessive force, if there is an allegation, particularly as to deadly force, before the police chief makes the final decision about the internal review, it is to go before the CRB so that they can look at it and see if they think there's something else that needs to be looked at. And if so, then the chief can do that. They don't really direct what his outcome is going to be, but they do want to make sure that everything has been looked at. The Public Safety Commission, and we've made this point several times, would be an ideal organization for the city to look into issues that somebody wishes to raise about the use of license plate identification, facial recognition, and all that. The police chief has said that the data that we've got will not include facial recognition as long as he is the police chief. But the concerns that have been raised about what can be done and what can't be done and if it can be abused is a perfect thing for the Public Safety Commission. It is organized to look into issues that deal with public safety and have public input on them.
Director Wyrick.
Thank you, City Attorney. Thank you, Mayor. I just wanted that context and I wanted you to be able to hear that.
Thank you, Mayor. I just wanted to add in regards to the snow that may or may not be coming on Thursday. I spoke with Brad this morning and he was already much aware of the possible storm, and the Planning Commission has been canceled for Thursday night. And all of the items that were on there for this coming Thursday night will roll over into February. And it'll be a lot of items because in December, we didn't have enough planning commissioners to hear all the items. And so those items are rolling from December to January. And now January plus those items are going to roll into February. So I just want to make sure that our viewing audience knows not to try to come to City Hall Thursday night for planning because it won't be happening.
Yes, ma'am. Director Adcock.
Yes, Mayor. I attend all of the MHA meetings, and Paris Towers is one of those facilities. The first part of their meetings is always to listen to the citizens who are there to have complaints or have questions. And so those questions are being answered by the MHA board. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Before we adjourn to executive session, I wanted to share on behalf of the City of Little Rock and the city board members, appreciation to the City of Little Rock team members and all of our community partners that have helped stand up an emergency shelter Sunday night, last night, and will continue on through the remaining days of this week up until Friday. In the event that the snow comes, and we definitely think it's coming, Thursday morning, we'll activate a 24-hour operation at Dunbar Community Center, where the current shelter is. And I want to make certain everyone knows right now that the city has always had warming centers at all of our community centers. And so between those times of 9 a.m. and 6 p.m. at all of our community centers, including Dunbar. And for those who may not understand, Dunbar serves both as a warming center and the emergency shelter. So if you've been to Dunbar, you know the gym consists of the emergency shelter. Everything else, except for where there are programs, is the warming center. And so while we go through the different processes to take care of different things at the shelter during the morning time to be ready for the next night, that's what goes on. So just want to share appreciation to the City of Little Rock team members that play a role in bringing it to activation. So just want to share their appreciation, and all the community partners that play a role in that as well. While also share appreciation to the van who helps with the transportation to get many of the unsheltered residents to our facility. So want to make certain we share that appreciation alongside a host of community partners that play different roles. Too many to name. They know who they are. We want you to know how much we appreciate you. Is there a motion to not adjourn? Recess for executive session. There's a motion from Director Hines, a second from Director Miller. Not so fast. All those in favor say aye. All opposed say nay. Ayes have it. Meeting goes into recess. welcome us back from our executive session to report back that after our executive session, the one report back is that our new vice mayor for the 2025-2026 year is Ward 7 City Director B.J. Warwick. Is there a motion to adjourn? So moved. Motion second. All those in favor, please say aye. Aye. Those opposed, say nay. Ayes have it.